The stars above Earth were calm. Space had been quiet for years. Humans had stopped fighting each other and had started working together. The Earth Confederation was strong. It was not just one country. It was all people of Earth, united. They had built ships, reached new planets, and made peace with many alien species. Captain Nora Langston stood on the bridge of the ECS Nightfall, a large ship used for exploration and defense. She was proud but careful. She knew peace never lasted forever. Her crew worked in silence. They had just received a strange signal from a new species. The name of the species was Vayari. Their words were simple and respectful. They asked to meet near the planet Darren 6. At first, everything seemed fine. A small Vayari ship met with a human transport. They spoke through translators. The Vayari faces were hidden behind silver masks. They did not shake hands or make small talk. Still, the meeting ended without problems. Weeks passed. Then strange things started to happen. A listening post near the dark side of a moon was destroyed. Ship carrying miners disappeared. No signals, no wreckage, nothing. Nora told the Confederation command. They said to wait. Maybe it was just an accident. But Nora did not believe that. She sent small scout ships to check nearby areas. Nora gave a report. She asked command to send help. While she waited, she ordered her ship to move closer, just in case. Then it happened. A flash of light filled the bridge. One of the Vayar ships had fired on a civilian transport. The transport exploded. There were no survivors. The crew stood in shock. No one spoke. Nora clenched her fists. Her voice was steady when she gave the next order. Track all Vayari ships. Move in. Protect the colony. Fighters launched from the Nightfall. Defense turrets came online. The other human ships followed Nora's lead. They did not fire first. They waited. But the Vayari attacked again. This time it was a military ship. A battle started. It was quick, but fierce. The human ships defended well. They were not ready, but they learned fast. Nora's team took down 2 Vayari ships. The others pulled back. The sky went quiet again. Back on Earth, leaders met. The Confederation tried to contact the Vayari. No answer came, only silence. A protest message was sent. It was clear and calm, but still nothing returned. Then 3 more colonies were attacked. People died, children, elders. The time for peace was over. Nora looked out at the stars from her window. She felt sad. She had hoped they could avoid war, but the choice had been made, not by humans, but by those who attacked without warning. She walked to the comms room. A message was being written. It would be sent across all known channels. It would be heard by all who listened. The message was simple. It said, "Since you chose conflict, let us show you how it's done." Ships were being prepared. Soldiers were being trained. Scientists worked on new systems. Commanders met to plan. The human race was not perfect, but it was strong. When pushed, it stood together. Nora stood with them. The war had begun. But this time, it was not about land, not about power. It was about survival. The stars, once quiet, now held the sounds of war. And humanity was ready to answer. Rear Admiral Cole Ramirez stood in the war room at Earth Confederation Command. The screens showed red lights flashing across star maps. Each red mark meant an attack, a lost ship, or a destroyed colony. The Vayari had made their choice. Now humanity had to answer. The leaders of Earth were no longer asking for peace. They had sent messages to the Vayari, but none were returned. Instead, the Vayari had attacked 3 more colonies. One of them was Green Valley, a farming world with no defenses. Thousands of people were gone. Families, workers, children. Cole looked at the names on the casualty list. He felt heavy inside. He knew this war would not be short. He knew what it would take. The Council gave him command of all Outer Rim forces. His job was clear. Stop the Vayari from moving closer to Earth. He sent out orders. Ships moved into new positions. Supply lines were checked. Drones were deployed. Every soldier was told to prepare for more attacks. Cole knew that the Vayari used strange weapons. They had gravity tech. It pulled ships out of line. It bent missiles. But humans were learning fast. At Station Hera, Commander Lily Barnes studied the enemy tech. She worked with engineers day and night. Her job was to find a way to stop the gravity fields. After many tries, she found a weakness. The Viari tech overheated if used for too long. That small detail became hope. Cole sent Lily's findings to all ships. The next battle was near the asteroid belt of Raga 3. It was a trap. The Viari thought they were hunting a small scout fleet, but Cole had hidden more ships behind the rocks. When the Viari arrived, the battle began. Human ships fired in perfect order. They used the gravity weakness. When the Viari fields began to glow red, human missiles hit hard. The enemy lost 4 ships. The rest ran. It was the first human victory. The galaxy heard about it within hours. The Confederation sent out a new message. This time, it was not a call for peace. It was a clear warning. The voice of the message was calm, but strong. It said, "Since you chose conflict, let us show you how it's done." The message was sent on all channels. It echoed in space, on ships, and even on Viari lines. Human fleets played the message during missions. It became a symbol, a reminder that Earth did not fall easily. Back on the ECS Nightfall, Captain Nora Langston received new orders. Her ship would join the main fleet near Vega Prime. That system had many colonies. It had trade routes and fuel stations. Losing Vega would be a big blow. Nora spoke to her crew. She told them what was at stake. Her voice was steady. They traveled for 5 days. When they arrived, the Viari were already there. The enemy had set up a blockade, but they did not expect a full human fleet. Cole had sent 8 ships to break the blockade. Nora's ship was at the front. The battle lasted 2 hours. Lasers and missiles lit up the dark sky. Ships twisted and turned. Some exploded. Some escaped. But in the end, the blockade was broken. Vega Prime was safe, for now. Cole Ramirez watched the reports come in. His plan had worked, but he did not smile. He knew more battles were coming. This was just the start. He sent a short message to all commanders. "Hold the line, we cannot lose Earth." In the labs, scientists worked on better shields. Engineers built faster engines. AI programs were tested for battle help. Everyone had a role. Everyone worked toward one goal: survival. On the other side of space, the Viari grew silent. Their leaders had not spoken since the first shot, but they were watching. They had not expected humans to fight this hard. Nora Langston stood on her ship's bridge. She looked at the stars. She remembered her father's words, "Never start a war. But if one comes, finish it." She did not want to destroy, but she would not let Earth fall. The war was now real. The cost would be high, but humanity was rising, together, and their message was clear. Commander Lily Barnes stood on the metal deck of Station Ardent. Her boots made a soft sound as she walked past broken wires and burnt panels. The station had been hit in a surprise attack. Most systems were down. Smoke still floated in some halls. But she was not there to cry. She was there to take it back. Lily gave orders quickly. Her team moved through each section, clearing rooms and restarting systems. They had only hours before another Viari wave. Her plan was risky, but if they could bring the station's defense grid back online, they could hold it. She worked beside her engineers. Wires sparked, panels opened. Tools passed from hand to hand. No one stopped. They had no time to waste. Outside the window, stars blinked calmly, hiding the fire that was coming. In the distance, 3 Viari cruisers appeared. They came fast. They did not speak. They never did. They just fired. Lily gave the command. Cannons on the station roared back. Drones launched. The defense grid flickered, then came alive. Red beams shot through space. One Viari ship broke apart. The others moved back, surprised. Lily had done it. Her team had brought the station to life again. It was the first time a damaged station had been taken back so quickly. News spread fast. Her name was heard in command centers and camps. On another front, the Battle of Foros Delta was starting. Admiral Cole Ramirez had placed ships in a wide arc. The plan was simple: pull the Viari into the trap, then strike. Battle was hard. The enemy used strange weapons. They bent light and sound. But humans had learned to read the patterns. Captain Nora Langston led the center group. Her ship moved with speed and purpose. She stayed calm. She knew fear could ruin a plan. Her crew trusted her. Together, They flew into the heart of the storm. The Vayari flagship appeared. It was large and dark, shaped like a deep-sea creature. Its weapons cut through to human ships. Nora did not turn back. She moved closer. She gave the signal.
Ow.
2 bombers flew under the enemy shields. They placed charges on the weak points Lily had found in her earlier studies. The flagship exploded. Pieces of it floated in space. The human side cheered. It was a big moment. The Vayari pulled back again. For the first time, they looked unsure. Across the galaxy, humans felt stronger. Colonies sent more support. Factories built faster. The message that had been sent before now played on every ship. Since you chose conflict, let us show you how it's done. It became more than words. It became belief. But the war was not won. Cole looked at the list of lost lives. It was long, too long. He marked the names of those who died in the Battle of Foros Delta. He said their names out loud, one by one. He did not want anyone to become just a number. At a hidden base on Moon Zora, Lily was helping test a new kind of drone. It could move through the gravity fields. It was fast and small. She watched as the test flight began. The drone flew past rocks and lasers. It reached the goal in record time. She smiled. It was a small victory, but every small win counted. She sent a message to Nora. They shared news often. They trusted each other. They had become symbols of hope for many. Nora read the message and sent one back. She was near the edge of the new line they were holding. She had seen more Vayari ships, but they stayed far. It was clear they were waiting, planning, watching. The war was changing. It was not just fast attacks anymore. It was now about control, holding ground, learning more, building better. But one thing stayed the same. The message. The choice had been made. Not by humans, but by those who started the fight. Lily looked at the stars that night. They seemed brighter. She knew the war was not close to over. But for the first time, she felt like they could win. Not just with weapons, but with courage, learning, and unity. The stars were watching. Humanity was rising. The war had reached a new point. Human fleets were deep inside Vayari space. Battles were harder now. Vayari were not running anymore. They were fighting to protect their own systems. Every star held a secret. Every planet had defenses. Admiral Cole Ramirez knew this stage would come. He had seen war before, but nothing like this. The cost was rising fast. Ships were lost. Pilots never came back. Even with smart plans and strong fleets, people died. The hardest hit came during the mission to stop a Vayari superweapon. The weapon was hidden near a dead star. It could bend light and break communication. If finished, it could blind human fleets. Cole led the mission himself. He did not want to risk others. His ship, the ECS Valor, moved through dark space with 3 support cruisers. The mission was fast and silent. They reached the Vayari base, but the weapon was almost complete. Fight started. It was not clean or smooth. It was chaos. Lasers hit metal. Ships shook. Cole gave the order. Yes, they had to stop the weapon, even if it meant losing everything. He took the Valor close. He opened all fuel lines. One last push. The explosion lit up the dark. The weapon was gone. So was the Valor. Cole Ramirez died in silence, a leader who gave all he had. His name was placed among the honored. People across Earth stopped to remember him. Commander Lily Barnes got the news at Moon Zora. She sat in silence. She had worked with Cole from the start. She did not cry, but her eyes stayed on the screen for a long time. Then she stood up and got back to work. That's what Cole would have wanted. Captain Nora Langston and Lily now led most of the outer fleet. They planned a push into Vayari core space. The goal was not to destroy all. The goal was to end the war. Some leaders on Earth spoke of full sieges. Wipe out planets. Make the Vayari fear humans forever. But others disagreed. They said war had to have limits. Even with all the pain, they could not become monsters. A debate started in the Ethics Council. Some wanted to use new weapons that could freeze cities. Others said no. Nora sent her thoughts. She said, "We must defend, but we must also remember who we are." While this talk went on, Lily found something important. On a broken Vayari ship, Her team found files. The files showed old images. They were human ships from over 100 years ago. Vayari scouts had seen them during the early Earth Wars. They had watched humans destroy each other. Cities in flames. Missiles hitting lands. They had feared what humans might become. That fear had stayed for years. When they saw humans in space again, they thought it was a trick. They thought humans would soon bring war. Lily showed the files to Nora. It made things more clear. The Vayari had not attacked for power. They had attacked out of fear, but they had made a mistake. They struck first. As the human fleet reached the last Vayari line, a message was caught. It was not clear. It came in broken words and weak signals, but it was a message of truce. The Vayari wanted to talk. Nora saw it. She sent it to Earth. But the answer did not come fast. The High Command said they needed time. Some still wanted to strike. Others wanted to listen. Every moment counted. The fleet waited. Lily stood on her ship, looking at the stars. She thought of Cole, of every lost crew, of every saved colony. She did not know what Earth would decide. But she knew one thing. The next move would shape the future of the galaxy. Nora kept her ships ready. She did not move forward, not yet. She gave one order. Hold position, watch, prepare. The Vayari had reached out. Now, it was time to see if Earth would answer peace with peace, or fire with fire. The stars were quiet again, but everyone knew it was the quiet before a final choice. One message had been sent long ago, and it still echoed. Since you chose conflict, let us show you how it's done. The human fleet stood like a wall around the last Vayari planet. It was quiet. No ships moved, no guns fired, but every captain had their orders. If the signal came, they would attack. The war had come to its last moment. Captain Nora Langston stood at the front of her ship, the ECS Nightfall. Eyes looked at the blue and green world below. It was peaceful. From space, it did not look like the home of an enemy. But war had changed how things looked. She thought of the message from the Vayari. It had come days ago. A weak call for truce, sign they were ready to talk. But Earth had not answered. The leaders still talked, still argued. Some said to wait. Some said to strike. Nora waited for the final word, but it did not come. In her heart, she felt the pressure. This moment could save or destroy everything. On the other side of the fleet, Commander Lily Barnes worked in silence. Her ship scanned the planet. She saw no weapons pointed at the sky. No enemy fleets. It's only city lights and quiet airfields. It did not feel like a trap. She sent one last message to Nora. Still no threat detected. Still no reply from Earth. Nora replied, "Hold steady. If they move, we move." Time passed. Hours felt like days. Soldiers stood ready. Guns stayed hot. Engines stayed warm. No one spoke much. They knew they were part of something big. History was being made. Then the message came from Earth Command. One line. Proceed with final transmission. Nora understood. It was not an order to fire. It was a chance. One last message before action. She walked to the CUM station. The channel opened. Her voice would now reach every Vayari device still working. She spoke slowly, calm but firm, to the Vayari people. We came to you in peace. You chose conflict. You attacked our homes. You killed our people. We defended. We adapted. And we stood together. You feared us because of our past. But fear does not give you the right to strike. Now you face the full strength of a united Earth. She paused. Her next words were heavy. This is your last moment. Choose peace. Watch your skies burn. The message was sent. Nora closed the channel. All ships waited. The clock ticked. Everyone watched the screen. Then a light blinked. Reply. A Vayari voice came. It was broken, tired but clear. We surrender. Nora exhaled. So did many others. No guns fired. No ships moved. The war was over. A small VR ship rose from the planet. It carried their leaders. Nora sent a ship to meet it. Talks began that same day. Simple, slow, honest talks. No tricks. No fear. Back on Earth, people cheered. Streets filled with light and sound. Names like Cole Ramirez were spoken again. Children wore stars on their jackets, each one for a lost hero. Factories stopped making weapons and started building homes again. Commander Lily Barnes returned to Station Ardent. She walked the same halls she had once defended. This time they were clean, full of light. She smiled at the new crew. They were young, full of hope. Nora stayed in space for a while. She helped set up peace stations and guided new missions. She knew the danger was not gone forever, but peace, for now, had returned. Before leaving her ship, she walked to the bridge one last time. She looked out at the stars. She remembered every name, every choice, every message. The message that had changed everything still echoed in her mind. Since you chose conflict, let us show you how it's done. She hoped a new message would take its place. We chose peace. Let us show you how it's kept. The stars were still out there, full of danger, full of wonder, but humanity was ready. Together, they had faced war. Together, they would now build peace.